call by the contestants themselves for unity is the first step towards unity. You understand? So these are the people who have been contesting against themselves for the last 6 months, making insinuations against each other, trying all they can to show that the other person wasn't good enough. So whatever division, anxiety, tension came primarily from the context. Now, when the contestants themselves now commit themselves to come together, that is the first requirement for unity. So it is a very happy situation.
Right. So Dennis Miracles Abuaji, aide to Dr. Bawumia, says that the elections are over, the campaigning period is over, we no longer have competitions, we no longer have factions. Oh, is this true?
Oh, yes, it is. It's expected that the party people will say
Samson,
that.
why does he keep changing his spectacles depending on
one for reading, one for sight?
I know, but my problem is how he knows the difference.
I wanted to prevent
No, I know how
the man is on the way you are.
No, but you know the funny thing, how he knows, but they're both the same.
We do plenty things. When the matter is hard, you have to change the space.
And by the way, before that, somebody insists that I should make this correction.
Yes.
That there is a certain narrative that is not correct, and we need to correct it. And the narrative is that the correction is that the sponsoring institution for the memorial project, the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Project, was the World Bank under the Ghana Tourism Development Project in partnership with the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture of Ghana. But it is a government that said we want to do a project, and
If the president at the time said we won't do it, how would
they don't like the fact that
Yes,
did it. They don't like the fact that institution has given tourism a lot of money. If you look at the visitors there, and Akufo-Addo did it because Nkrumah is one of our biggest tourist exports.
Right.
So we really have to fix it. And it shows the candor of the man.
Yeah.
But anyway, the MPP is at an important place. But as I have looked at the history, what is happening to the MPP now almost certainly mimics what happened to the MPP in 1998, when they decided that they needed to elect a candidate 2 years before, and the candidate that was elected the last election was challenged, and then he won, and then what he did. So I'm hoping that the MPP will take from the leaf of what happened at that time. Naturally, you expect political people in the MPP to say that we are united, and that will happen. You see, typically opposition parties don't struggle for unity. I think we've not noticed that in this country. The MPP won 2016 elections at the time when everyone would have thought that they are not united. The chairman of the party is fired, the general secretary of the party is fired, everybody, there was chaos all over the place. If you listen to Evans Mensah on Top Story and Eugene Entry, who used to be MP of Subin, said that when he heard Top Story, his stomach, because you hear Evans Mensah shouting, oh, the invisible forces are back at the MPP head office. This is 3 months to election. And he was dying, but the MPP won the election. So opposition parties don't unite, don't worry about unity that much. It doesn't mean they shouldn't foster unity, they should. But ultimately, they will come around. Dr. Bawumia has a decision to make. And I think that it's time that after he has served the party, the length of time that he has served the party, after he's been vice president and he's been elected twice as leader of the party, it's important that he leads the agenda and he turns it into a Bawumia party. It's very, very important he does that, because how you come can also limit the way you express yourself even when you become. Because he came in picked by somebody. See, if you compare him to Akufo-Addo or Safo-Mafu, J.H. Mensah, and all these guys, they didn't come to MPP because somebody picked them to be running mate. They came to MPP because they loved it from students' time, blah, 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 blah. So they seem to have a certain pedigree. That pedigree cannot compare to one who has been running mate for 2 terms and has been vice president and has also proven to be a great vice president. So he needs to make his own decisions at this stage. And I'm happy with the way he started by talking to candidates.
For 4 terms.
Yes, candidates coming to him and he talking to candidates and all of that. I think that's important. In terms of the parliamentary situation, I remember that...
Before we get to the parliamentary situation, I got a feeling that you wanted Kennedy Agyapong to win.
Oh, I didn't. I just was hoping that whoever the MPP elects will be the person that can actually crack the whip, which is what they...
I followed you. I follow you, and I realized you projected Ken over Bawumia.
Oh, no, I didn't. Because if you watch our program, for every Bawumia interview, we had a Ken interview. That's how we did it. So on the day that Frimpong Boateng came, he didn't even speak for Ken, but he sort of tilted towards an anti-Bawumia agenda. There was Nitiwu.
No, in 2023, I followed how you projected Bawumia as well. It was completely different. You gave Ken very little space. But
In
were you
2023,
surprised at the outcome?
No, in 2023, I didn't examine Ken. But in 2026, I sat down to examine his campaign. I talked to his people, why this, why that. In 2023, I didn't examine him at all.
There are those who had said that for the NPP to even qualify him as a candidate to hold its flag, the NPP was lost. It had lost its image.
No, I think that's very wrong.
As a credible party.
I think that's very wrong. And I am hoping that in the campaign that Dr. Bawumia will launch, he will incorporate some of the things Kennedy Agyapong was saying. It is very, very important that he does. Because some of the things Kennedy Agyapong was saying can actually win you an election or can lose you an election. He's going to the people and telling them that you don't have jobs because our people are not thinking, why can't you do this water yourself? Why can't you do this yourself? Why can't you create a road? One day I went to Kennedy and I was asking him about his plans. And then he said to me that we have traffic from Accra to Cape Coast to Takoradi. We do. I said, yeah, we do. He said, okay, God has blessed us. When you are driving from Accra to Cape Coast to Takoradi, look on your left. I said, what is on your left? He said, tell me, what is on your left? I said, it's a sea. He said, right there is another road. And we don't do it. I had not thought about it. And I said, I don't understand. I said,
Many people have said
you are driving straight. Next is the sea. Put a boat on it and let the boat also go. So there are some things that we have to take from these very practical people. A lot of us who have benefited.
Is it a question of lack of vision, ideas, or really it's about it comes down to money?
It is the education we had. The education we had did not teach us to create. So few revolutionary people have come out, Kofi Bentil, Bob Hinson, and others, who are now telling us that you don't have to follow the path. We went to Legon finishing and waiting to get a job.
Do you remember what we were told will happen to the Korle Lagoon?
By Kennedy Agyapong?
No.
By everyone else.
By
Those
the
who
NPP?
promised.
Yes.
Yeah, that they would change.
What was going to happen?
Yeah, they couldn't do it.
So it's a question of money, really.
No, it's not just a question of money. It's also a question. Here in this country, sometimes we do things in a certain way. If you want to do the Korle Lagoon, what a well thought out plan will do is first to settle and understand how to settle the people there and actually do settle them. So if you tell that all of you live around the Korle Lagoon, please, we are moving you to Mamprobi for this reason. Now here in Mamprobi, you have this and that and that. And then what we are doing at the Korle Lagoon, because it is your land, you have 10% interest. Again, Kennedy Agyapong told me that when he is trying to move people, we settle it. Here in this country, we don't do that. Look at the Labadi Road, Teshi, where I live. Many governments have paid them to move. Akufo-Addo is the one who came to break the buildings because he said that, they've paid, Rollins has paid you, this has paid you, but we just pay them. We don't move them anywhere. Of course, when Akufo-Addo broke that in 2019 or 2018, the NPP lost all that area. Labadi, Teshi, Nungwa was completely lost, and it will be lost. Today, the NDC is doing Ramsar sites and breaking people's buildings. I bet you it's going to feature in the 2028 elections because here we are. We don't do the thought leadership thing. Let's think. What do we do with these people? They are 50,000. If it's going to take us 2 years to do it, what is their birth rate? They may be 70,000. So let's move them to Aman here, to Pram, to here. Build something that is attractive. And I saw it in South Africa. They built 2 million houses for people, move them and put them there. Build something that's attractive. But the land that they are living, you need to understand that they still have an attachment to the land. So what are you giving them in the thing that you are doing? For the Ga people, their one is located there. One is deity. Their deity is located there. They can't move the deity out. So yes, on the basis of that, to answer the question, I had examined Kennedy Agyapong's campaign this time, and I thought that there were certain things in that is good. So I needed to give them an expression on Good Evening Ghana, and that's what the team agreed. So that's what we did. So yes, Dr. Bawumia is still the, by and large, the likable person and the presidential caliber type of things. If you're asking me about the results, I was really hoping that Dr. Bawumia will repeat the 60%. But when I looked at the results, I was glad because I noticed that he had won places that he didn't win. And it's always important how the party see him. And I noticed that in Ashanti, which is what I was interested in, it looked like the spread was wider. The longitude didn't go up.
So only 2 places in Ashanti he didn't win, right?
And then the place he didn't win the last time, he won it.
Correct.
And this time, the 2 places he didn't win.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There are only 2 places he didn't win.
Yes, but the Duchu one is understandable. And then there was another one. But most places he did. And then in my place, Labadi and Teshi, he increased this. So that when I saw that, I thought that, well, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. But yes, I mean, the results was below.
Any comment about Brian?
Now, I went to Brian as well.
All right.
I went to Impriso. to sit down. No, where is the hotel?
But what does it tell you that a place where Ken led
In Volta region, for instance.
he flipped it?
Oh, yes, Brian, when you looked at Brian's campaign...
Ken is the biggest loser.
Oh, well, yes, because if you come from 37 to 23, if you look at it on the state of the data, and it will look like... In fact, if you add Brian and Ken together, the Bawumia still beats them, yes. So it's not as if Brian took from Ken, or both of them could not match Bawumia. Fair enough. But when I looked at Brian's campaign and the way he was doing it, I sat there for from 8 to about 2 p.m., watching him meet the delegates, and I looked at it. When I came back, I went to see Akufo-Addo, and I said, I've gone to see Brian. What he's doing is massive.
You remember his very first meeting with us? He was mathematical.
Oh, yes.
He was crunching figures.
Yes.
He was not dealing with all the mundane stuff.
Yeah.
He was crunching figures.
But
I know this number of people here. I know who to reach. And he worked for him.
And that's what I told that when I met Akufo-Addo then. I told them that whatever happens, and I think I said it publicly, whatever happens in this election, you cannot leave Brian out of the mobilization and the campaign of 2028 because he seems to know what to do. And if the MPP is going to win 2028 massively, the organizational operation of Brian Agyapong must be put in place. I think that's, everybody understands that.
Right.
And the ideas of Kennedy Agyapong and the support he will give must also come.
Right.
Thankfully, we haven't seen him say, I'm leaving party, I'm angry, and we haven't seen Brian say, I'm leaving party.
Because that's
so
suicide for any one of them, correct?
Because they are learning from Alan. You see, when you leave a party that is in government, you get some attention. Beyond that, nothing happens. So those who have left the party that was in government today, nothing. And look at Mrs. Rawlings. When you leave the party in government, look at Reform Party. When you leave the party in government, you get something in terms of attention. After that, that's it. Nothing happens. So the people who have left NPP when NPP was in government and people thought it was not a good government and you left and they were praising you for it, that's the end of the story.
That's why Bawumia shouldn't and didn't resign.
Yes.
Those people who are talking...
Bawumia resigned?
No. Continue.
Okay, so now Bawumia has...
fixing the friction.
Yes, fixing the friction, I think is going to be easier because the party is in opposition. And that he must run very fast. Thankfully, he has a lot of time. The best thing that happened to the MPP was the decision to have this Congress early. And everyone has seen how the matter has settled down. What is exciting for me as a news reporter is that I'm waiting to see what happens in the NDC. I can't wait. And I'm going to look at it with excitement. Because when people talk about a political party, MPP is this, MPP, it's with every political party, and we are going to see it. The Gen Zs who are now seeing their first government and opposition, they will see
now
it.
To what you are going to that I paused you.
The parliament.
Yes, is Afenyo-Markin's position untenable, looking at his non-support for Bawumia and the way he marshaled his constituency for Ken Agyapong?
I think I have to say something for Afenyo-Markin in terms of the leadership and how they manage the Congress. Whereas the results indicates that Ken Agyapong was very popular in his constituency, and it might mean that he told his delegates or something. Throughout the process, Afenyo, you would say, was one of the most disciplined leaders of the MPP in not showing his hand one way or the other. What happened in the reason why we are saying all we are saying is the results that came out. But if the results didn't come out the way it came out, would you be able to say that Afenyo is Ken or Afenyo is Bawumia?
Well, he managed it well, but
that's the point.
But he was not.
No, he is somewhere. Everybody is going to vote.
And I respect his loyalty. He said
that already. But even with the loyalty, he didn't display it openly like other MPs who came for Ken.
Very well.
And other MPs who came for Bawumia. He's the leader of the group. And he didn't show any such thing. So I think he must be commended for that.
I agree.
If you take us back to the 98 example, which I'm saying mimics what is happening. J.H. Mensah was the leader of the minority before the elections of 1998. J.H. Mensah actually, I believe, contested, or he was not supporting Kufuor, who was his brother-in-law. He didn't support Kufuor. Never did. But when Kufuor won, J.H. Mensah was maintained as the minority leader to the next election. So Kufuor and J.H. Mensah are relatives through marriage. So it might be easy for loyalties to switch, or it might be easy for suspicions of loyalty to be...
Will Afenyo be removed? You know a lot better within the party than some of us do.
I have heard that there are some members of parliament in the minority who are not happy with Afenyo-Markin. And they believe that because they supported Bawumia, they now have to get Dr. Bawumia to sort of pull it against Afenyo, and they are using the Bawumia victory and Bawumia's hand to carry out their own personal vendetta. I am not sure that if you ask Dr. Bawumia himself, as an MPP leader, as a scholar, as an intellectual, as a politician, whether he thinks Afenyo is doing well or not, I'm not so sure that his answers will be that negative.
What would be the cost of doing such a thing, removing Afenyo?
Oh, as for the cost of removing Afenyo, if they do have some basis, I don't know whether they do. Because we've seen Asidun Ketia do it to Haruna Idrisu and Muntaka. Nothing happened. They won the election. So opposition party, it's a different kettle of fish from a governing party. I don't know the details of what all the MPs know. I'm not in parliament. But some of the MPs really complain that they don't like Afenyo's leadership. But which leader have they not complained about? They've complained about Chairman Sabunsu, they've complained about Toforsen, they complained about Haruna Idrisu. So it's a decision for Dr. Bawumia to make. But how he makes that decision will indicate a lot, and the reasons that he gives for that decision.
Should he not?
Oh, if you have a basis to remove on the basis of loyalty, you should. Because loyalty is everything in politics. Tony Blair and Kufuor would tell you that it's loyalty.
I see that you are still in the celebratory mode.
Yes.
That your candidates, won very comfortably for you. But before you go to that discussion, can you begin from what we are hearing, and within the party, even some of the supporters saying it publicly that Afenyo-Markin's position is no more tenable, and others suggesting that removing him will be terrible, and it suggests intolerance, that all the MPs should not support one candidate.
Samson, thank you. I did not thank the very good people who gave us the victory, and I want to take this opportunity to thank them and for their support, and also the 2 million people who did not listen to Dr. and voted MPP. We want to thank them that this time around they should basically give us a hearing and let us improve their lives. Look, let me make this point. I think we are making it about a Dr. Bawumia decision. It's not. It's a party decision. The party would have to make a decision at a point. We know that I'm happy everybody is clapping for the early election of the flag bearer. When we stood our grounds and we decided that that was the best for the party, and we were internal and we understood what was going on, we realized that if we have gone through the polling station and all the things that we are to do to get to national, the party will be split into multiple parts. Because we saw what happened in 2022, we saw what happened in 2023, and I was part of the process because I contested. So I had a front view of what can happen if we allow the internal processes that we go from polling station and elections all the way to national. We thought, no, let's do the flag bearer. Let's take that cherry off the table. Let's do that, and everybody can go through the election. But look, I'm happy everybody is clapping that it was a good thing. Now, after we have done the polling station, the coordinators, the constituency, the regional and the national, we have a new neck, right? So we will have a new set of executives. Retention is about 85%, but there will be a new set of executives in the party. There will be a new national chairman. There will be a new national executives who will now sit at neck. At that point, if the party feels that there is a new approach, there's a new look that the party wants, they might want to look at the parliamentary party and say, look, what changes do we make? So that is not a Bawumia decision. I honestly think that, yes, he sits as the leader of the party, will have an input. But I think it will be a neck decision somewhere in September, October, what happens in the parliamentary caucus. And I think the parliamentary caucus is also represented at NEC, and they would also make their input into it. So I don't really want us to make it a Dr. Bawumia decision.
If Bawumia doesn't want it, will it happen?
No. I think that as a leader of the party, as the flag bearer of the party, his voice will carry sway. At NEC, you really have to lobby and get the people to your decision. So you have to carry the people along. The president and the leader or the flag bearer of the party always have to play the neck game.
So if he takes a position and he loses it, that should also tell us whether he has the executive or he doesn't.
But what I'm saying is that internally,
that would be a sad commentary.
Internally, we know how the game is played. And I think it will be difficult for the president or the flag bearer to have a position and lose that neck. That means you don't understand how the dots are moved. We know the game. We know how NEC operates. And if the president or the flag bearer wants something at NEC, you have to do extensive consultation before NEC so that when the vote is carried, it now becomes something that you want. Now,
where would you like him to stand for the purposes of the reconciliation on
Afenyo-Markin's and that brings me to my second point.
Where would you like him to stand?
Doctor has a heart of gold. I, Kojo Poku, I keep telling him that I have a lot to learn from him. Everybody that knows.
You're a potential energy minister.
Everybody
if he wins
knows
the
that
elections,
everybody
right?
knows that I'm combative. I don't know what I am, but no, I don't know what I am. I have no idea what I'm saying.
But you advise him on energy.
Well,
so
yes, I do. But what you advise on and what you become when the party comes, me and Kofi Akoseka, that one I do.
Pardon your own boot.
You see,
Let me take. I've just received a text from somebody in Parliament that says, Paul, I just heard you. It's settled. Another Pre will become. I mean, I can't mention his name, but.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I just heard.
Well,
another Pre will become. That's all he says.
Well, that's fine. Maybe
I don't know whether that's
somebody's
true,
doing mischief somewhere, but for us, we don't know what's going on.
You see, the space is changing again, no?
Yes. Yes.
So now let me start from this. Look, everybody that knows me knows I'm combative. Doctor is 100% different from me. Heart of gold. Look, for the things the man went through, the things that were said about him. Look, Kojo issued multiple statements, videos in his defense, especially on the tribal issues, right? And most people have seen those videos. I don't think it will be so quick for me a day after to be hacking people like Sticker. That's my personal opinion, right? If I won this election and the things that were said about me and the things that Sticker said about me, I went to school with Sticker. I don't think I'll be opening my doors to Sticker very soon. It will take time for me to calm down. That's me, Kojo Poku. Doctor is different. We saw how he's opened his doors. Everybody has walked in. Sticker went and hugged him. And he wants all of us to learn from him.
People have seen you largely as a moderate like Dr. Bawumia, and now you are...
No, I'm not. If you know me very well, you know that I'm not. I'm learning from him, but I'm very combative. I can't easily forgive. That's why people say that I wear my emotions up my sleeves. I can't be a politician. But we are human, right? But, Samson, there are two approaches. Doctor will open the door. He stands in with a good heart. But the people walking through that door, do they have a good heart? Unity is a two-way street. And that is my problem now. People say that we should have unity. Yes, we want unity. But the people coming through that door, are their heart pure? Are they coming in just to now undermine and say, see a kind?
There's no art to find the mind's construction in the face.
Thank you. There's none.
You
You see, so we are being careful. Unity is definitely key. We need that to win. But Paul said, in opposition, we've had the past, but this is not ordinary times. The posture, the demeanor, and the authority of Nana Akufo-Addo is different. Doctor is not the same.
So why will Afenyo be on the table, on agenda? Is it because of his leadership or his failure to put his weight behind Dr. Bawumia?
I don't think.
And like Paul disclosed from one of the MPs, I'm getting a confirmation that Anadon Pre will be the one.
See, now, let me, fortunately or unfortunately, I was talking to my brother Kofi here. It's not everything I can say on air, right? But there were some happenings that a lot of people were not comfortable with.
About his leadership?
About, what transpired close to the election. There are instances that I can't speak on air, but certain things that some people were not comfortable. And you see that he felt that the day after the election, he gives a statement. You remember? So he's made this statement where he said, with Kennedy, and he felt he has to come and say that. Ask yourself, why did he have to come and make that statement? Because there were happenings close to the election, on day of election, that some people were not comfortable with. And he himself, on hindsight, that's why he came and said certain things. So if Parliament is up to something, I'm not privy to. I'm hearing this for the first time. But I think that it's not a Dr. Bawumia decision. It is a party decision. Maybe they will not leave it till the new neck.
But you have settled it, that even though it's not a Dr. Bawumia decision, if Dr. Bawumia doesn't win that vote, whichever place he stands, we can say it's a Dr. Bawumia decision. Because if Dr. Bawumia decides that he wants him retained, it will be done.
Yes.
Not necessarily.
But, he can. But at the point, Mahama wants to play that hand.
If Dr. Bawumia wants him moved, he'll be moved. Nothing will change it. Dr. Bawumia is the dominant leader of the party today. Okay. Whatever he wants is
it doesn't make him a dictator.
No, it's not dictatorship.
Yes, so
you were saying what? That Mahama was not in support of the changes in Parliament.
what we saw under the NDC, Haruna, is not the way it was done.
Oh, is it not the other way rather?
No, it's not the case.
Are you sure?
That was
what is the law?
Are you sure?
I mean, if you are close to the system, you understand.
The party advises.
The party
the party advises.
The presidential candidate.
The party is the party that.
But MPP now have Bawumia as a leader because their neck is not in place. They are now going to have a neck. So he's the leader until June.
Okay, so could you briefly also about the dynamics of the win, the election itself?
Yes.
There were times that you were scared, your camp.
This year.
Especially earlier on, about 2-3 months before the election, there were times that you were scared. Of course, I speak
so
to
let
some
me tell
of
you, if there was a time we were scared, it's not earlier on. The time that we were scared, I'm giving too much now. If there were times that we panicked a bit, it was a week to the election. When we did that, when we were in Ashanti. It wasn't earlier. We were confident we were going to win. But in Ashanti, we now chanced on a list that the Ken camp has made that they are winning. About 12 constituencies. And for us, was like, hold on. What is it that they know that we don't know?
Paul believed in that list. You go ahead. Finish your point.
Let me say, I was going to say something. This panic that you went through at the last minute, I went through it as soon as the campaign started. And that's why I went to see Ken. Because I was listening and I was hearing everything. I said, hey, are we going to lose this thing? So let me go and understand what they are doing that is making people all that. No, I saw El Bernard. That I said, El Bernard, is it true? He said, I tell you, it will happen. Nah. And then people like you gave encouragement that forget about prophecy. Let's focus on
I don't disbelieve prophecy, but when men of God, quote unquote, are doing campaign, I can tell the difference between
he didn't start with
a man of God doing campaign rather than doing a prophecy.
At the beginning, it was
okay.
So,
I don't understand how these prophets don't see their way to solve Ghana's problems. They only see black stars and then they see politics.
So let me finish. So the reason, we've campaigned Doctor is the only one that does these 276 constituencies. No other politician in this country. Nope. Doctor is the only one that died.
276.
To visit the constituencies. Brian started moving them in clusters. In clusters.
He did.
He moved. No, you see, we are coming to visiting the constituencies is one
bringing
thing.
them together.
Bringing them in clusters and meeting them is a different thing. What I'm saying is that
2-3 constituencies to one
4-5 constituencies to one place is a different thing. But Doctor went to all constituencies. Understand? So what I'm saying is that
Kennedy didn't do all.
No, Doctor is the only one that did.
Then they see.
Before, that's fine. It's not the point I want to make. But when we got to Kumasi, which is the last leg, and we saw 12 constituencies in the Ashanti region, which now we chanced on, that Ken saying that he's going to win. Bantima, Inshaeso, AKT Hamon's constituency.
Inshaeso was almost split.
Yes, and those... and we now started finding out, why is he? So we started meeting the teams responsible for these constituencies and assigning reasons. For Bantima, for example, his regional coordinator, one Gantua guy, is from there. So he spent a lot of money and doing a lot of things in Bantima. So we started to get, look, so now the hard conversation started. Then fine-tuning why and what we can do. That was the only time that there was a bit of low, because the assurances, the vigor, the enthusiasm from that camp was a bit too much. And we think that they can't have that much energy if it was just based on a fluke. So for me, it was that time when we now have to go on the platforms and talk to various people and find out what it is. But as it pans out, he won all those constituencies, except the Ahafwano one that he won with Elvis. But look, the spread is good. Everywhere, in the Greater Accra especially. Greater Accra.
So as you can see on our screen, let's go to the spread, the national spread. And you can see that Bawumia has done a lot better this time. He's won across the country.
And the most important place is also the Boko Enclave, right? There's 6 constituencies in that area. We heard a lot about how they don't like him, they don't vote for him, blah, blah, blah. He only lost Binduri. Right. He won Garu, he won Timpani, he won Boko, Pusiga.
Okay, let me go to Kofi now.
So I think...
But a quick comment, as the national party also reorganizes, now we know the people who are throwing their hat into the national chairmanship thing, and they include Wontumi, right?
Yes, Wontumi.
And again, there's suggestion, if your party is listening, that your party has been known to be a party of the intellectuals, a party of decent people. you shouldn't be qualifying people like that.
Like who?
Like Wontumi. What do you say?
Yes. Let me, okay, Paul first.
This issue about you see what your party is, and you see democracy has demerits, and democracy is about numbers. It's important for us when we find people who we think do not fit the bill and are rising, that we use the same democratic credentials to defeat them. Dr. Bawumia was able to defeat his opponents. He didn't cry that you can't have this person as that. He just went to the delegates, told them his story. So we must allow everyone, whoever they are. That's what democracy is.
No, but people who have baggage, that does not lend to credibility. That's the point.
Yeah, but the general public are going to vote. And so we must convince the delegates that you can't vote for this person because of this. And then we must have a convincing argument. If we don't do that, we'll be overtaken by time. We saw Jerry Rollins rise up and...
Okay, it was...
Let me finish this quickly. Look.
Let Wontumi run and let him lose.
We seem to think that the delegates don't know what they want to do. Yeah. And we seem to think that a lot. Look, the delegates are the smartest people you can think of. Look, it's not about money. Because if it was money, other delegates will spend Dr. Bawumia. Right?
Other candidates
have spent Dr. Bawumia.
So if you didn't give them money, do you think?
I'm just, look. I don't know if you don't give money. As I'm saying that it is not about money. The delegates will take your money and still vote otherwise. They do not just go to the whims and caprices of money, right? I've had my uncle called me 2 days ago and had this lengthy conversation about the same conversation about Wontumi. Chairman Wontumi is a 3-time regional chairman. Before that, he was 2-time chairman of Bosomtwe.
Some people say people like that were
but in politics, you see,
in
politics, like my brother Paul said, the yardstick is different. You see, it's people's representative, right? Wontumi has a way of mobilizing people. Chairman Wontumi has his politics. You might not agree with it. Does it work? Yes. And the people are, yeah.
If he stands elections with Agyapong, Akomia is interested, is it?
I don't know.
If he stands elections with people like this and he wins, it tells about your party.
No. It's the message. Let's now go and look at the message. Dr. Stood did 1 hour every time in every constituency and gave his reasons why all the concern number 1 to number 8 shouldn't be listened to. Dr. Stood and gave his vision. If Wontumi craft a message, goes around and tell the delegates why he should be chairman, and Wontumi wins, let's not discount the power.
Kofi. We are here today. The word of the prophets and the
science. This is the science.
All the... Is it a week after? The week?
A week.
Yeah.
Today is exactly a week.
And let no one take it for granted. Those things they said had a definite effect. And for me, that's where the problem is. Tomorrow, we don't know how it will play out. There was a definite effect. Okay. Today, we are looking at it here today. We are saying, oh, after all, they meant nothing. At the time, they meant something. But
when you say what they said, I just want to...
The prophecies about all the things that will happen and how Bawumia will lose and everything. And unfortunately, actually, there's a second wave of prophecies, which are even worse, about things that are going to happen between now and then. I'm saying all these things because, look, we need to move as a country from these noises to a more sensible space, all right? We have pollsters. You know, in the past, we had some pollsters who we can easily dismiss. But today, we have very serious pollsters. We need to move more to looking at some of those people because these things, they really raise unnecessary tensions and create unnecessary stresses. That's it. Let's leave it. Now to the substantive matters. Number one, it was an absolutely good idea for MPP to shift their strategy and bring their primaries forward. There were all kinds of theories, mostly ironically from the NDC, about how this was wrong, this was cooked for Bawumia and everything. Anti-democratic. And I'm like, well, when the foxes tell you where to keep your hands, don't listen. Because they know what is good for you. But why it's important is that, you see, again, history. We should learn. We should do what we do. MPP, and for that matter, all the political parties, for these 30 years, had been practicing one particular system. And every year, it created problems. Edubuahin suffered it. And it got worse, till during Nana Akufo-Addo's time, it blew up. And they had to sack the executive. Who goes through that and decides that I'll repeat it? So I'm saying, by doing what they've done, and by the way, I've said somewhere that, look, this primary is a hill. The general election is a mountain. And Bawumia will be climbing with baggage. What you need, therefore, is heavy-duty mobilization and everybody shooting in one direction. So this was really necessary. It puts some doubts beyond, contention. Now, you see issues coming up about Afenyo and whatever it is. See, if they had waited to the end, and I'll connect it to Afenyo, you would have these things lingering for all these years till the last year before you deal with it. I told you earlier, time resolves many things. Right now, that is done and it's clear. Okay, personally, I have watched Afenyo-Markin. Afenyo-Markin is one of the most astute politicians in this country.
He's a broker.
What? He's a smart guy. He assesses what he has to do. He pays the price. He has control over Ifotu. And he didn't get it just like that. The guy, half of him is from Volta. He works at it. He's my friend. He makes himself my friend. Okay, when I text Afenyo, he will respond.
That's right.
You understand? The guy knows what he's about. He has my full support. Not because of anything, but because I know he has a future in politics. Listen, I have said that it's a good thing they did what they did because the whole party must align behind Bawumia. And I think that will happen. Why would Afenyo be different? Number one. Number two, Afenyo should not be paying a price for loyalty. Loyalty is an admirable attribute in every place. Even where it is exercised against you, if you have good sense, you admire it. So the loyalty of Afenyo is admirable. And now look at this. If Afenyo falls in line, and I see no reason why he shouldn't fall in line, indeed, the person who we all thought may ruffle the feathers and muddy the waters a bit was Ken himself. But Ken has conceded in a very gracious, magnanimous way.
There was no other choice. There was no showdown to show.
Oh, no. We know he has a tendency. He could have done that.
There was nothing.
Oh, okay. You let
Neither you pour you from 37 to 23.
Okay.
There's nothing. You can't
go forward.
If you're going to like 45, you can slow down.
Okay. So see, Samson, the person Afenyo was loyal to has thrown in the tower, says we are aligning, we are going. Why would Afenyo not? And even if Ken did not, trust me, I haven't talked to Afenyo, but I believe Afenyo would have said, no, this is the right thing to do, and I would have done it. Now, if Afenyo is this effective, if Afenyo has this level of control, if Afenyo knows how to assess things and put himself there, and he's going to deploy that for the benefit of Dr. Bawumia, why would you alienate him? So I don't see the reason. Again, I don't coordinate with...
Yeah, so Bawumia listens to you as well.
If he's listening to me...
He listens to you.
So, if he's listening, this is what I'm going to tell him. One, Afenyo shouldn't pay a price for loyalty. Convert Afenyo. I don't see why Afenyo will not support you. Three.
But you know that in politics, loyalty is almost everything.
It's everything, but in politics, there are other dynamics.
You must be sure of the person you are dealing with.
Now, here's the point I'm making. So I'm saying that, look, Afenyo knows where his bread is buttered. His bread is buttered. I don't see any bone in Afenyo going to support NDC. I'm building. That is one. Two, I don't see any bone in Afenyo remaining indifferent to a Bawumia win. That's a different level altogether.
But the people who also supported Bawumia is important. And some of them would have made certain transactions.
That's why I'm going that
trade-offs.
Bawumia now should manage my brother and all the people who have hot hearts. Okay? Because I said, one, going against him, two, being indifferent.
Remember Chairman Sabonswe is there in Bawumia's camp. Remember how he got removed? He didn't get out of that seat.
Those are the dynamics I want to talk about. But now, the next level is...
It was not.
Afenyo can deploy his significant powers for the Bawumia campaign. I don't see why he will not do that unless they attack him. So my advice to my brother Bawumia is that even if they want to, please stop them. Okay. Because Afenyo is good. Then, but there's this other thing. Look, there are dynamics in parliament. All of us who have followed Ghana's politics know that there are times when Jubilee House wants one thing, and certain things shift, things move, and then something else happens.
Do you like Afenyo's leadership?
Do I?
Do you like his leadership?
So, in all honesty, Afenyo's leadership is effective, but I think it's a bit too combative. However, the kind of structure we have now, okay, the nature of the structure in parliament is like that. I think you need to be a bit edgy to deal with this NDC and the overwhelming, numbers in parliament and also popularity. Right now...
Do you hear concerns? That by Afenyo's leadership, now people don't even want to listen to the minority, even if they have important things to say, because they are tired.
That's what I'm saying. It's a bit...
That the communication the opposition is not credible?
Not credible is a bit too far. A bit strident, okay? A bit forceful, okay? But I'm saying...
So if that will not help Bawumia's cause, why should he be supportive of keeping him?
So now that's why I started by saying that everybody must fall in line and align. And my brother here said something very, very interesting. He said he has a certain style, but Bawumia also has a certain style. You will notice if you watch politics that people tend to adopt the style of the leader.
That's right.
Look at President Mahama. He's the... I've always said the dove and they are being forced to toe the line. Look at Donald Trump. People are beginning to talk like him. So what I hope Bawumia will do, and I advise him to do, is to make everybody fall in line. If he is hugging sticker and you don't like sticker, stop. Fall in line.
Doesn't matter.
You understand? So for me, my advice is what I've given publicly. If I meet him and I speak to him, I'll tell him the same thing. Let me add the last point. Everybody knows, including Afenyo, that given what he has done, he's put himself in jeopardy. If for any reason Bawumia is able to save him, he will feel indebted to him.
But that does that also not tell you something about some wrong in the party politics, even the internal politics, that everybody is expected to support one place?
Okay, it is not a wrong. A political party is an organism formed to execute a particular action. And like I said, it is necessary strategy that you whip everybody in line and make them support you. Otherwise, why are they there? Okay? I speak my mind and people know I'm aligned. I like Bawumia.
The Constitution requires that the party should be internally democratic.
Internally democratic does not also mean you throw away your strategy. In working your democracy, you campaign and you make people fall in line, including whipping them into line. Okay. That's the essence of having a political party.
You are in Parliament. What did the signal come to you like? The signal that even going to Bawumia's home to celebrate with him, the guys in Parliament, the MPP guys who were in white, took Afenyo by surprise. Yeah. He was at a press conference and discovered later that his people are not there, they are at Bawumia's home, and he had to rush there. Yeah. So he was unaware. He was a leader who was naked.
Yeah. So, in fact, it actually confirms what maybe an MP sent to Paul concerning a possible replacement by Anodompre. In fact, for the past 2 days, if you observe, it's Anodompre who is...
closer to Bawumia.
Yes, yes, who is taking charge in Parliament. And we saw this coming because there were these calls for replacement of the minority leader. Immediately they lost power. Some were pushing for Patrick Bawumia, others were pushing for Agyapong, Nkrumah, Tampuli, and the rest. I'm being honest with you. And this conversation resurfacing again is not a surprise. However, I want to agree with what Mr. Bentil said. In politics, internal democracy, you don't silence opposition to your candidate. That is why it is called democracy. You consolidate other views. So to punish somebody merely because you didn't win his constituency, I don't think it's reconciliatory enough that you want to...
In the NDC, you ostracized some people because they didn't fall in line.
We had consequences out of that. And observe something. When President Mahama won against Professor Alabi, he was a presidential candidate against President Mahama.
That's right.
He made him the campaign coordinator for the 2020.
It was not a feisty
contest.
The relationship was good.
It was so good.
No, but the point is that...
And it was 9-10D.
No. I don't want to repeat some of the things that was said by Professor Alabi on the candidature of John Mahama. I don't want to say it, but it is out there. So my point is that if you are a political party that is trying to build a party based on unity, and the idea behind this top-down approach was because of to have enough time to build bridges. You don't do some of these things. And in fact, when Wontumi visited Dr. Bawumia after the election, I saw a leader who cannot unite the MPP. That is Dr. Bawumia. I will demonstrate that. A candidate comes to greet you, and you, in the presence of media, you address the person as incoming. That suggests that...
He addressed who as incoming?
Wontumi, he shook him and said...
Everybody calls everybody incoming.
No,
incoming means what?
What
does incoming mean?
Please.
No, but don't
try to
say that. But don't say that.
You.
Don't say that.
That is exactly what
what does incoming mean?
You and I know what he wants.
What does incoming mean?
People even call Bawumia the president.
Then
yes. What does incoming mean?
So if they call Dr.
Anybody
Bawumia
who
incoming
contests
president,
is called incoming.
No, it is not.
Look, everybody who contests, when I see a Jaco, I call him incoming.
See, I wasn't
everybody,
talking. Two of you all spoke.
No, but don't do that.
Please.
Okay, go ahead.
I said when Wontumi greeted Dr. Bawumia, he called him incoming. We had the likes of John Boydu, Asabi, Wacha Jaco, and the rest, who are also vying for the national chairmanship.
He didn't call them incoming.
He didn't call them incoming.
Did you know when they went?
We saw all of them. Their visit was public.
But I was there when Wachi came. Did you know if he called him incoming or not?
Now let me proceed.
So tell us, did he call him incoming?
He didn't.
That's not the point.
He didn't. Let me now proceed to.
But logically, he cannot be calling everybody
incoming. It doesn't make
But
sense.
I call everybody incoming.
Now,
I see.
Now, we as a party want to congratulate them for what they did. Now, I always say that it's like the MPP has not still learned why they lost the election in 2020. Oh. You lost the election of 2024 not because of a weak party structure. You lost the election because of bad governance. And we must put it on record. You can bring an angel. If the angel is not performing, you'll be voted out. So it is not the personality of per se Bawumia. It is the ineptitude that we saw in the last 4 years of MP4 from 2021 to 2024. That is the reason. Top-down approach. Consistency is important. You did bottom-up.
But you said 2021 to 2024. By 2022, you didn't have the problems that looked like the government would collapse for bad governance, correct?
I had. Oh. We had always maintained.
Oh, please, 2017, 2018, the economy was good.
No, by
2019, the economy was good.
I just stated, the reason why I started from 2021 is because Ghanaians renewed their mandate in 2020.
That's right.
So that is a declaration that there was some level of good governance to what they did. You know, every election is a verdict on your scorecard. So that is why I started from 2021.
Okay.
Now, I'm saying that 2000 election saw MPP win with bottom-up approach. 2004 saw MPP win with bottom approach. 2016 and 2020, 4 elections were won with the bottom approach election methodology. Now, this top-down approach, where do you find it anywhere? Number 2, you allow party people to evade accountability. Every polling station executive has been elected by the people. So after every 4 years, polling station executives or even all layers of the party across all levels are subjected to the same level of accountability to their people. Now, basic statistics. I had a question that MPP people had only 2 questions to answer. Do you want to elect a president or you wanted to elect a flag bearer? In my mind, I have no doubt they have just brought an old wine in a repackaged bottle. The truth of the matter is that...
but that could be said of John Mahama. But he still won.
I will demonstrate the difference. Please. I will demonstrate...
But it's a before you move on, when you suggest, is it your suggestion that if they had done the bottom-up approach, Bawumia will not win? Is that your suggestion?
My suggestion.
How do you answer that argument now has been demolished beyond doubt? Because the Agyapong who thought he would win, who says this was a free and fair process,
yes,
lost.
So let me tell you why there's a difference. You realize that...
He lost miserably.
No, he didn't. You see, you are personalizing candidature. When you have an establishment candidate as against opposition, in 2023, the loudest opposition in that election was Ken. This time round, there were 2 horse races who were opposing the candidature of Dr. Bawumia, which is Brian and Ken.
And yet, Ken and his team were so 100% sure that they were winning.
I am not.
And yet they didn't.
I am not a member of...
So what would the bottom-up approach have done?
I'm coming to the numbers. I'm saying that you evade accountability when you impose candidature on your party grassroots who are not party executives. Let's do numbers here. Statistics. 211,735 people of your own party. Is it representative enough to assuage the fears of Ghanaians of the bad governance you inflicted on us? This same, in fact, 203,000 people were supposed to vote in 2023. you had 61%. And that resource led you to a massive defeat to 41% or 1.7 million votes.
You have explained why there was a defeat.
Please. The same group of people who thought you were better, the delegate base has been expanded from 203,000 to 211,000.
Almost 212,000.
The expectation would have been that an expanded base means an expanded percentage. That's the expectation.
An expanded candidates.
No, I'm talking about opposition to Dr. Bawumia. He was the former vice president. Now look at the data here. You have it. Now, in 2023, Dr. Bawumia had 118,210 votes from 203,000. In fact, 196,000 even voted. He had 118,210. Now, with an expanded base from 203 to 211,000, he now rather had 110,000. Even with the expanded base, he fell. It is not the percentage alone. Even in quantum, he has fallen. Now look at the effect. You have over 200,000 people voting. Combined effect will tell you that when you add all the other aspirants against the former vice president, close to 90,000 people out of the 200,000 believe Dr. Bawumia is not the right candidate.
He still won if you add all of them.
Please. And this is the first time, and the historian is here, who has done 92 election coverage and all those things, will tell you, look at this. This is the first time MPP or any even political party who has tasted power in Ghana from 92. Look at the data. If you look at John Kufuor, in 1996 when he first contested, he had 51%. He lost that election in 96. In 1998 when he went, he increased the internal primaries.
He won in 96.
No, I'm talking about national election.
Okay.
I've just mentioned, if you get 51%, it means that you have won your internal party primaries. But I'm saying that in 1998, he increased from the 51% to 64%. Nana Akufo-Addo, despite not being an establishment candidate in 2007 at Legon, had 47%. He couldn't secure the mandatory 50% plus one. In 2010, on his second coming, he moved from 47% to 78%, demonstrating complete control of the party. In 2014, he moved from 78% to 94%.
Why? Must the trajectory be always be the same all the time?
The reason is that you are trying to whip people to believe in your vision. The more, the merrier.
I see.
And people argue that.
But they say now he has a better, regional spread.
Oh.
He's won except 2 regions or 3.
With a declined base. Now let me come to...
With an increased candidature.
Let me come to the candidature. In fact, let's stop this type of mathematics. I hear them always repeating that 2 million MPP people didn't vote. That's not statistically correct. We shouldn't be repeating it.
They have done their research.
We have our constitutionality of data. Data are not stationary. You don't assume that number to your... Look, every set of elections, you come with its own data sets and what defines it.
That defeats your own argument a while ago.
Can you...
That defeats your own argument a while ago.
It's the same data set. It's the same data set I was using, MPP delegates. It's the same data set.
How can it be?
Okay, let me go to Senor and then go for a break.
We refresh the delegates. How can it be the same data?
It's okay.
The delegates are refreshed.
Quickly, then we hear Senor and go to a break and come to the 3.8 inflation reduction.
I beg you. I'm saying that.
But I need you to know that you're speaking longer than any one of them has done so far. Yes, I check your time.
Okay.
See.
Now, no problem. I'm saying that the history suggests that maybe when you go first time and you don't win, then you are given with another opportunity. This is the only sitting president who has lost with this magnitude. When Prof. Mills came in 2000, having served as vice president for 4 years, he moved the election into a second round election. In fact, it took an alliance of other political parties to defeat the NDC. And bear in mind, at the time, the PNDC-NDC had ruled Ghana for 19 solid years. There was general fatigue and tiredness, and they believed that a vote for President Mills was an extension of the rule of President Rawlings. Despite that, President Mills still moved the election into a runoff. Look at, you've been marketed for 16 years. This is not the type of preparation you need. You've taught this country for more than 5 elections. And you came with this humiliating defeat. Finally, the issue of tribal politics, Sticker and Co. introduced tribal politics into their party. Look, you can't approbate and reprobate. You can't eat the fruits of a poisonous tree. You planted it. You came and told us in the northern region that we should vote for you because you are a Muslim. And this is the first time a Muslim is coming to lead the country. On the other hand, you came and told us that you are a member of the Bewat clan, Dagombes, Nanumbes, and Mamprusis. This is the first time a Mamprusi is coming. You need to eat it when the thing hit back at you. You were telling us that when the northern region presents a president, the next time a president comes, will move to another region. You said it with your own mouth.
Anyway, we know that in the first, when the MPP won power, the first, election that brought Akufo-Addo to power, we know that Bawumia did a yeoman's job in bringing northern votes and so on and so forth. So things can always change.
Not the change, the speech. What did you say?
Yeah. Things can always change.
Please, yes, Akufo-Addo won the election with 49% of the party votes in 2008. He actually did win.
Okay. Yes,
Senor.
Quickly, and then we go to a break and return.
Yes. 90% before you win.
Yes, Paul and Sanerigo. Thank you. Thank you, Isa.
90% can win with the
Isa, thank you, Paul. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes,
Senor. We are fine. So, we are very fine. Don't worry.
So, party politics is an act and an art of a plurality in choices and decisions. But commonality in purpose.
He's a poet, so you don't know about that.
Yeah. So we should appreciate.
You've lost my village people.
That plurality is important. The Kumasi people can't say it as it is.
I'm lost.
I don't
you
mind.
like trouble.
It's a national joke. So it's like that you gotta your way your notice go it's my people are problems, so it's okay. So there's a need for tolerance for that plurality. And there's also a point where commonality must now drive the entity. We need a very viable opposition. We need a strong opposition, irrespective of which one is in government. So it can actually shape right the policy frame and direction of our country. Our political institutions, i.e. not government institutions, I'm talking about the political parties, must foremost see themselves as policy houses. And that's what be my disappointment in this election. I've not really seen a strong policy debate like we see in America, even when the parties are actually running.
We lost it 15 years ago.
We lost, and we have to find a way to bring it back.
Yeah.
To be fair and to be honest, Bawumia's victory is also inspires some kind of hope of a certain reform that the MPP has always needed in quite its recent past. We're all student politicians. We saw the Daroches. We heard of them well. We saw the GH Menses. These are the people who really embodied what an MPP party is supposed to be like or is like. We don't see it anymore. Let's be honest about it. Universal suffrage has a certain limitation. So I agree with you, Paul. But as a party, if you're actually promoting and educating what your philosophies and ideals are, it will actually shape those who come into that party without those ideals. The MPP people today, and even the NDC people, when you tell the MPP people what property owning democracy, they don't know. When you ask the NDC people what social, they don't know. People know that they have certain affiliations, they have certain relations, they have certain family connection. That's what brings them into one party or the other. There's a need for a reorientation of the parties. But going forward on this particular matter, it is time for the MPP to find and rally around a commonality of purpose. There is no benefit in continuing being in opposition. You can ask the NDC people who decided not to vote in 2016 whether their lot was better. They couldn't even get people to call and talk to. It's the same problem you have today. Your people need you guys to win power. I'm not worried whether you're winning power or not, because your ability to win power as MPP will be very dependent on how bad or how well the NDC will do. In this country, almost every election is a verdict on the ruling party.
Yeah.
But it would be great if for the first time we really see an opposition party not coming in by just condemning the ruling party, but coming in because it's showing superior ideas. And I like Bawumia. He's somebody who seems to acknowledge, he's a moderate, relative moderate, acknowledge and also appreciate the successes of the time. He's commanded the current government, and that is the time of temperature we actually need. Because we may be different parties, but we're still one country. How do we actually shape policy and our advocacy going forward to reflect a certain unifying feature that can actually shape and change the lives of people? So constructive opposition activity. Should Afenyo go or Afenyo not go? Afenyo has held the line for the party. Afenyo has given MPP visibility. You may not like his ways. I think that he himself knows there are a lot of places where he can improve. But it's also a first timer to this particular role. All right, so things will change. It's not the young Afenyo that he used to be. He will also grow, and I think he is growing. But if they really want to reflect that, there are different types of characters and personalities that are required. If you want to have something that replicates Bawumia's character, of course, Afenyo is not Bawumia. He hasn't got that particular personality, but his personality also has its advantages. If you want to replace Bawumia, Afenyo by a Bawumia character, then you're talking about a Patrick Buama. There's nobody else I see in that party.
But do you support that? Do you support that?
Nkrumah is nowhere near that. I don't think his advocacy has been very competent. He's not managed certain things well. His visibility has dent, and his maturity also has dent. He will grow.
Oh, well, I don't think so.
Well, that's your view. No, that's my view. That's my view.
The person they are grooming for presidency.
No, he will get there.
Listen,
I don't think so. I think he's growing, and I think that he will get there. He's not there yet. Somebody like Patrick Buama, who has had practically one of the longest.
So I have Afenyo-Markin on the line.
MPP.
I have Afenyo-Markin on the line.
Afenyo has done a great job.
Hold on.
Let me make one last note. Let's hear him. I beg you, me too. I'm here. I'm sitting here. I paid my money and put my food to come and sit.
Quickly.
Please, and I'm here. I beg. It's my time to talk. I've received a note, and for some clarity relative to their visit to Bawumia. John Daku he said Afenyo was part of the plan to be there. He was late because he had to represent the same party at a speaker's program. So it wasn't as though he did not want to be there.
It was not deliberate.
It wasn't deliberate, no. Okay. And it's understood within them.
It wasn't a sabotage.
No, never. But Afenyo is not that guy. You should know Afenyo. Afenyo may disagree with you. But
you are saying something that he could probably say himself. So
all right. Thank you. You are here. He's on the phone and he will go away. So thank you very much, Honorable Afenyo-Markin. In fact, he'll be on the show. We have been doing our first hour exclusive with a group of people. He's one of those who will be coming after we had Sami Jemfi, Mahama Yarga. Did I say Mahama Yarga? Dominic Ayine. Mahama Yarga is also supposed to be here. There are a couple of other people who will be coming for the first hour exclusive. So Afenyo. Yeah. Yes, sir.
It must be because he's the guy
Good morning. Good morning. Let's hear what you have to say.
So I think I just received a video of some discussions, and I thought I should put things in the right perspective. First of all, Saturday after the elections, I came to Accra and did what I had to do. Sunday, I got in touch with the flagbearer. We agreed on a plan to meet with him as a caucus. I called a leadership meeting Monday afternoon. All my colleagues were in my office Monday at 1 p.m. dot. Prior to that, I had met the flagbearer face-to-face and I had briefed him on activities. So far, as you may know, we've had a 1 year without a leader, properly, so-called. And I've been in charge in Parliament, working with the party secretariat. So the General Secretary and I discussed that I needed to brief the flagbearer which I did. It was a one-on-one, hearty, chat. And he was expecting us on the Tuesday morning. I convened a meeting Tuesday morning, and our colleagues were present. And we agreed that from there, we're going straight to the flag bearer's residence. Now, I had two other things to do. In between, the chief whip and my good self had to attend a business committee meeting. And then I also needed the permission of the leader of the house, that's Ayarga, to extend the sitting time, because we needed to have enough time, then we can start sitting, so that he could inform the speaker of the minority's temporary absence. At the same time, we had a leadership media encounter that had already been programmed. So the understanding was that my colleagues were going in a bus and that they should take the lead, because I am assigned an outrider and I have an official outrider. I could make it faster. So anybody who even watched the press engagement, you realize that Ayarga has started. Normally, we all spend the whole time, interacting with the media. So when I got in, Ayarga said, look, leader has to go somewhere and that he wants to give him the chance. And I put forth our case and our issues, and even jokingly said, I hope in my absence, he wouldn't be doing some uppercuts, and indicated that, look, we needed to meet our flag bearer. I would want to beg of those who are having discussions on these matters. Look, we've elected a flag bearer. The party has a leader. It appears that people are taking the shine out of the beautiful election we had, and nobody is even talking about the Bawumia victory, and people are suddenly moving away from the unity that we are calling for, that will take us to 2028. So
yeah, we have played your speech at Bawumia's place like twice, where you are calling for all to work together. We have played your speech about twice.
Correct.
Right. So
we need to. We don't have a choice.
All right.
As a party, we have no choice.
I have a lot of questions for you, but when we meet next week. But do you feel under siege?
I mean,
do you feel under siege?
I'm doing my my annual medicals. Let me.
Do you feel under
siege? My health together. I mean, the right time will come. So.
But just one question. Do you feel
right perspective?
But just one question. Do you feel under siege?
No. It's politics. I mean, as for politics, you should expect anything and everything. It's part of it. You don't come into politics to expect things to be all rosy. Not at all.
You have 100%. You have 100% support for Bawumia.
You don't need to ask this. There is a party leader, and my job is to rally the party in parliament to help achieve that one goal: win elections. That's it.
You are accused of
whether or not.
You are accused of rallying. You are accused of rallying. Is it over 90% of your constituents to vote for Ken?
Is that where you want to go?
How do you undo that?
To me.
How do you undo that?
Something. Stop it. With respect. Don't let us go there. With respect. I have a lot of respect for you. Don't let us talk about the victory of the flag bearer.
All right.
The unity of the party. Don't let us get into. I should answer questions. Somebody says.
Like I said, I get to sit down with you. I get to sit down with you next week. So thank you very much.
I mean, let's focus on the party.
All right.
There is a leader. We've had a successful primaries. That should be our focus.
Right.
We should begin to project the leader.
Right.
And what he stands for, his vision for the party. How we should bring everybody on board. All aspirants. All individuals, various constituency executives. Let me tell you about my intervention, just by way of signing off. Before I left Accra, through the regional chairman, Central Region, I called a meeting of all the constituency chairpersons in the region and said, look, we have a leader, all of you, in your various constituencies, ensure you commit to the vision of the flag bearer. And that is what every constituency must do. Every region must commit to the vision of the man. We move together, continue the next internal processes, prepare ourselves for the task ahead. That is what matters.
Okay, thank you very much. Alexander Kwame Afenyo-Markin is the minority leader of Parliament. He used to be the majority leader, now the minority leader. So this is where we will take a quick break. But too many of you were putting your hands up when Senior began to suggest that Kojo Nkrumah may not be qualified for something.
Qualified. Once
you're saying he was growing.
I'm saying it's still growing. I don't.
Yes, but the party doesn't see him like that.
I disagree. No, even so party dynamics is one thing. Sometimes there's a cure, but Kojo Nkrumah is fit to be president today.
That's what we understand. He's being groomed to be in the party.
No, being groomed is one thing, but any suggestion that Kojo is now preparing himself, that young man is super smart. See how quickly he has raised himself to that level. So the suggestion that
what level?
What level? Kojo will lack nothing.
Why would you put that?
Kojo will lack nothing if he was put in the seat of the minority leader today, right now, today.
Okay, so this is where we take a break. This is where we take a break. We'll be right back.
I think it's progressing